So just this slide basically says it all. The Section 232 tariffs are the tariffs that are applicable to steel and aluminum products. These were implemented back in March by President Trump under what they call Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act. And it applies to certain steel and aluminum products, regardless of their country, that fall within particularly designated tariff classification. 25% tax on steel products and 10% tax on covered aluminum products. The government has said there's no drawback allowed on these duties. So if you import a steel product and you pay the 25%, unless you have an exclusion, you're going to pay it, and you're not going to be able to get it back if you export that product or find a domestic product that would meet that 8-digit substitution standard. Section 301 tariffs, by contrast, are specific to China. They were imposed by President Trump, the first batch of it starting in July, under Section 301 of the Trade Act of 1974. And these are punitive tariffs in response to allegations that China has engaged in unfair trade practices relating to intellectual property rights. These are still in place. Unlike the 232 steel and aluminum tariffs, though, Customs has said that drawback is allowed on them. So there's an opportunity, if you import goods from China that are subject to these additional duties, to export either those same goods or a substitute product and claim drawback on them that way. So that's the basis of 232, 301, and drawback.
So, Pat, let's go back to...
Drawback's a great way to recover duties if it works for you. But if you're looking to mitigate the effect of these China tariffs or the steel and aluminum tariffs, and drawback doesn't work for you, there are other avenues that you may want to look into. With 232, there's an exclusion process. For 301, the available exclusion processes have closed. They can always reopen them, but there's been no indication of doing that. But there are other avenues to mitigate that tariff in the event that this other provision knocks you out. For example, the first sale program or moving production, at least partially out of China. Just because one door closes doesn't mean that you're necessarily totally out of luck.
Right.